Good morning, Facebook family. I titled this feed Monday's Meat. And yes, I spelled it correctly. It is not the other meat that you eat or the meat like it's not the meat like we meet up. It's meat. And you guys know what it is. It's to dispense out something or give something out, like a meter. And it's funny how I don't know where I am until I get to where I'm going. And I'm going to explain that this morning because, it's fun. Let me pause too. I usually have shades in my car. Some, my purple hazies I haven't worn all summer. I've been wearing my red shades. But I usually have a pair of shades in my car and I don't this morning. And it's a nice amount of sun out this morning. So, but nonetheless, let me get back on track. It's funny, like I said, you don't know where you are until you get to where you're going. And how I learned that was this weekend. And I first want to stop and say congratulations to my good girlfriend, my good friend, not girlfriend, she's a woman, my good friend Terry. Congratulations. Hey, way back, how are you? And I had the rare honor to be in attendance at her nuptials this weekend. And I was let me tell you something. I go to weddings and I've been to my fair share of weddings, especially in the past 2 years. I don't know. For some reason, it's just been right on the forefront of my life. And I don't know if that's saying something. Because I'm learning how to read the tide of my life now more than ever. A few years ago, and I talk about this, and I really thought I had healed through it. And that ties into what I was talking about in the beginning. And I thought I had healed with, I'm not getting sucked into you today. I'm staying on track. They're fine. And I got to the place where I thought I had healed, especially being I was going to get married. I was engaged to be married, and I thought I had found that person. And let me just stop for a moment and talk about this. It's very important that I understand, because I spent my youth saying, I'm good. If I don't, getting married and all that, because of what I saw. I come from a marriage family. I come from people who were married 40, 50, 60 years, and that's what I come from. And because the new era came upon us, the era of the 80s and, the independent woman, and I myself being an independent woman and working and taking care of myself, I just wasn't going to, and being a part of certain rituals that said that women are to be submissive to men. And I'm not, and I'm going to say this, I read it wrong. I misperceived what you guys were trying to tell me in my youth as a woman. Does that make sense? Good morning, guys. Good morning, cousin. Good morning, Shakira. Congratulations with your anniversary on the job. And I misperceived what the elder women were trying to tell me. I was like, I'm not going to be no slave to no man. But it's really an honored thing when you can find that life partner, right? Gwen, did you get the title of the place, the name of the place? It's a really honored thing when you can find that life partner. Larry, talking about marriage and commitment. It's really an honored thing when you can meet that one person that's willing to take your hand and walk down the life's road with you. That's an honored, esteemed thing. But I didn't always think like that. I didn't always see things like that. I didn't always feel like that. And so I think I spent a lot of time under misconception. But I want to stay on track. And today is Monday's Meat. And I found out something this weekend. And I mentioned in the beginning of this feed, you don't know where you are until you get there. I watch movies. Everybody know I watch movies. And I saw this movie. I can't call a name right now. And The young lady said, we get there when we get there, right? And stay with me because all this is going to tie in. And I got to a place where now I'm at a place where a few years ago I was engaged to be married. Started the planning process, bridal party, meetings, talking about colors, everything. And I'm really serenely happy. And then something happened. Something happened. And I always ask myself, on the face value, could it have been? Right? Could that have been the person? And I just didn't do enough on my part. Does that make sense? Or maybe that wasn't the person and that was just a prelude of what is to come. What I'm saying to you this morning is that I'm always asking myself the hard questions now. There was a time that I just reacted. I never asked myself any questions. I never took another look. I never consulted anybody who had more experience. I never listened to anybody. I never did. But now I'm at a place because life has a way of doing what it does. Life got a way of putting a strapping on that ass, and you will do what you're supposed to do. You will do it standing up, or I will do it laying down. Let me keep it on me, because some people learn their lessons. Some people get their blessings. Some people get where they need to get, and they don't have to be ridden like a horse without a saddle. That's my story. I have to be ridden down to the ground. Torn in some areas. So what I'm learning about myself is that I went to this wedding this weekend, and it was just a beautiful event. And what happened for me and to me, right? Because I need to be real clear about that. Stuff doesn't just happen to me. It happens for me too. And what I learned was that the healing process from not being able to go all the way has not resolved itself with me, right? And the other thing that I learned is that if I don't address what ails me, I am not going to be of any use or any good to the next relationship that comes into my midst. Early on in my process of evolution, some people told me that, one, issues have babies, right? I thought that was just a cute little slogan. And two, if it comes to your peripheral, maybe it's something that I might need to be working on. But once again, I let it go by. No more. I got there this weekend and I was sitting there and I was just going through all these feelings and I didn't understand why. Ergo back to what I was saying about we don't know that we're there until we get there. And because I am such a delayed reaction person, what I'm learning is that it has to happen for me in cycles. Slowly but surely, the layers, going back to Monday's meat, the layers are being pulled off. The softer side of Tisha is emerging. I am growing up. Does that make sense? Sort of like an onion. Peeling the layers back until you get to the core to find out what it is that makes me tick. Not an easy feat. I understand how people sit and say, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to do that. I don't have to do this. I don't have to deal with that. There's a lot of work in working. And while it's real easy to always point the finger at you, a lot of times when I'm working in relationships and interacting with people, a lot of times the things that I attract to me or the things that are in my company or the things that are in my midst, these are the things that I have a lot to do with because I entertain it. Does that make sense? This is what I learned on my way to getting here today. Good morning, Priscilla. I attracted me who I am. There was a time there was a whole bunch of raunch, ruckus, foolishness, and chaos. That's who I was. And as I look around, my life is starting to settle out. I'm starting to stabilize. I'm starting to set boundaries for my life. People want to be around me. People seek me out and ask me, what do you think? What is your plot in life? What is it that you have to deal with? What are you struggling with? Are you even trying? These are the questions I asked myself when I looked in the mirror this morning. I'm getting better, y'all. I'm getting better. You know, that life partner that I was talking about earlier on. More work to do. More work to do. I don't just want a partner in name only. The relationships I entertain, I have to be feeling you. That's so important. If I give you my time, I'm giving you a valuable thing. If you see me at an event for a person, that person is an esteemed person in my life. I just don't go out and show up just to be doing it. Because there's some empty void that needs to be filled in me. And I need to just know each event that I go to adds substance and enhances and does something for me. And I'm so honored when people invite me. And if I can make it, I try to show up with all of me because it's definitely an edifying, beneficial experience for me. I only entertain events and occasions, and that's for me. So I'm growing up, I'm getting better, and I'm getting stronger. Mondays meet. Get it? Got it? Good. My coworkers are pulling in. I'm very upset that I don't have any shades. And I have to get to work. You guys have a great day. You deserve it. And you deserve it, especially if you're pursuing it. Bye-bye.